2024. And remember yesterday what we did say was make it count as much as possible. One more and then we're half in the year. So you need to do your strategic plan and all of this stuff that you need to do to find out how far you've come and how long or how much there is to go on with. So yes, it's a new month, but it's also the Workers' Day, and it's a time dedicated to acknowledging the inevitable contributions and invaluable contributions, unwavering dedication of workers across all sectors. So it's not just about the public sectors now, private and public sectors. And this day not only celebrate the triumphs and advancement that has already been made by the labor movement, but also it serves as a platform to advocate for fair treatment and labor rights, which is going to be the basics of our conversations here today. Fair treatment and labor rights. Now, we've seen the Nigerian Labour Congress many times make appearances out there advocating or canvassing for, fair treatment for workers. I remember one time when the NLC president, what's his name again? Anyways, the NLC president, he came out and he's talking about how everything increases except the workers' salary. Things have doubled in the market. Inflation rates is hitting the ceilings and the rooftops, but the workers' salaries still remain the same. Regardless of the changing economic climate of the country and of the nation, basically, right? So these things have been canvassed for. We see them pushing for minimum wage being increased, and I think Edo State, commendations to him as well. The governor of Edo State has implemented the 70,000 naira minimum wage in Edo State. That's Obaseki right now. Now I was thinking Lagos State was doing that already, but I saw in the news where they refuted the claims that Lagos State is not paying any 70,000 naira minimum wage. I don't know how far they've come with that, but I mean, it's just to improve the lives of the people. Workers' rights. Now, this conversation, I didn't want to have this angle now I'm going to be talking about. I didn't want to have it now until I had the people, personally affected or firsthand, affected by it in the studio. Of course, we're still going to have that, right? Of course. Imagine a lawyer graduating with first class and then looking for a job, and then that lawyer is being offered a salary of 50,000 naira and 30,000 naira. Now I'm talking of someone who graduated from school, best graduating student, first class, a law school, first class, then engineering. I can't name a couple of them, being paid peanuts regardless of the sacrifice they put.
You're working and it looks like you're not working.
Yes, you get that. So it beats my imagination many times when I see the amount of money that's been offered to these people, these professionals. A lawyer, 50,000 naira. That person is going to need to save for their rent. That person is going to need to buy food stuff. They're still going to support their families. And 50,000. Only transportation these days is going to take a chunk of that money.
All of it.
In fact, literally everything, every part of that money is going to be taken for transportation. So you see, when the labor put out right there, put out specific rules and say you would not pay anybody in the workforce less than 100,000 naira. That's where it starts from. Let them be the people to negotiate now. When these laws are being put in place, it's easy for people to now want to decide to go out there and look for jobs and get jobs. This is the story of a lot of people. Some might not even graduate with first class, but they are masters in their craft.
Of course.
They know what they're doing, right? They know how to do what they're doing, and then they carry out their responsibilities effectively.
Of course, and outside educational background, we also have people, families, personal needs, personal upkeep, and all of that keeps hiking by the day. So there are other things you have to do with, not just about, say, you finish with first class and all of that. As far as you are working, it was supposed to be seen on you that you are working and not working and looks like you are not working at all because you keep living from hand to mouth.
That's exactly the word, hand to mouth. So these structures, I think, should be put in place
of course.
to protect the rights of workers, the workforce. It's there's some, we can give exceptions. 50,000, there can be jobs that you do to earn 50,000. There can be exceptions, but a professional job, a professional collecting 50,000 naira, and doing a chunk of work it's not encouraging. So as we celebrate the hard work and dedication of workers around the world, today it's time to also reflect on the importance of their contributions to the society. So now, in a movement to honor the spirit of labor, we will be talking about some of the things we see or we hope to see change in the Nigerian workforce, in the labor aspect of Nigeria, in the labor sector of Nigeria. What are the things that you would love to see change, and the things that you would love to see being implemented? Because some of the conversations that have erupted from the internet space, in respect to the workers, we cannot continue to look for policies that we're looking for how to stabilize power. We remove the fuel subsidy, looking for how to stabilize that sector, but the workforce are being ignored. Little to no attention is being paid to the workforce. So we'll be having that conversation here. What are the things you think need to be implemented, to guide the workforce, or to protect the labor, to protect the integrity of the workforce? Now, if it's as a personal note, right, in your workplace, your job, what are the things you hope to see change and you think the government should implement in the workspace to make our lives better, to make the workforce, a lot more better? I think when people earn more, they can be much more
even
efficient.
Criminology.
Yes, it will be criminality. Sorry,
it will also be released.
It will be reduced. Yes, it will be significantly reduced because people will now know that when I work, I will earn. So I don't have to
everybody will have something to do. Definitely there will be work for you and all of that. And still talking on that, right? Today the NLC also rejected the 35% pay rise, insist on living wage and all of that, and that is because the federal government last night, approved a pay rise of between 25 and 35% for civil servants across various consolidation salary structures and all of that. So they are saying it's too small. We don't know why, but I think if the federal government really wants to do something about it, do you know that there are people in the civil servant sectors and some structures rather that are receiving lower than 100,000?
Of course, level 14, 15,
yes,
are still collecting that
so
amount
they are
of
receiving
money.
lower than that. So that was it. So let's see how this will go, and let's see how the NLC will also keep
address
up
this.
How they will keep up with this.
The phone lines are open right about now. Let's hear what your thoughts are, and let's hear what you think can be done to improve the working conditions of the Nigerian workforce on 090-7353-0044 or 090-8766-8888. You can also leave us a message on WhatsApp to be a part of this conversation by sending us a message on 090-9705-4450. The phone lines are open. Let's hear you. It's Workers' Day. What do you think? What do you think can be done to improve the lives and the working conditions of the Nigerian workforce? And let's hear you, in respect to the conversations that we already have rolled out here today. Let's hear you on 090-7353-0044
or 090-8766-8888, or you can send us a WhatsApp message on 0909-705-4450. Let's get your thoughts on how and what you think can be done different to improve the life of workers, especially in Nigeria. Now we're not just talking about the civil servants alone, but there are other public sectors. There are a lot of persons who are paying salaries as if them themselves can receive such salaries if they were being offered to work for someone else for salary, and some other persons tend not to pay salaries on time. I was in a public transport this morning, and I had a lady lamenting because she cannot even pay her electricity bill because she's not been paid salary. As a matter of fact, she says that coming to work this morning, she has to go get 1,000 naira from a woman selling outside the house. So those also in public sector should really try to improve to do well with people who are working with them. Let's see how we can get a better Nigeria.
Yeah.
That is what we're basically talking about.
And you remember one time I saw on the news where the federal government says anybody who owes their staff salaries should be arrested and all of that. And I remember making mention of the fact that that's not an effective way to deal with issues, because the organization itself might be going through some economic crisis, and should I say, how do you call it again, recession, some economic recession. The organization itself might be experiencing that due to the harsh economic situation of the country as well. But there are other measures that can be put in place. Do you understand? So that, you know, the rights of these people are protected, the rights of the labor is being protected. Because if someone is being owed, I remember also sharing a story here where I worked for someone for a period of 5 months, and I was being offered, you know, I was owed for 5 months and no remorse whatsoever from my employer. Now, until one time when the employer walked up to me and said, you know, I'm going to give you 10,000 naira. You're owing me thousands of hundreds, and you want to pay me 10,000 naira. And then her defense was that, go and look at other organizations, they don't even pay their staff. You know, taking pride in such a thing is something that someone can be prosecuted for, should be prosecuted for. Someone working for you for a period of 5 months, how do you expect that person to survive? Like you said, it will increase the crime rate in the country, and this is why these things need to be paid urgent attention to, so that, you know, we can have the rate of crime reduced. Now, people will now be proud enough to work. People will be proud enough to work, so that we can leave behind that living in penury and from hand to mouth. You understand that? But yes, let's keep it coming through. 09073530044 is the number to be a part of the conversation. But we'll be heading out for a very short break, and when we get back, please, would love to hear what your contributions are, and what do you think are the relevant contributions that should be made, or policies that should be made in the Nigerian workforce, you know, to completely change the situation that we're currently dealing with. Keep it locked in. I will be right back.
The good tunes just don't stop.
The good tunes just don't stop.
Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja.
The city of Abuja is about to encounter one day of perfection, completeness, power, authority, healing, and breakthrough conference 2024. One day to shape the new year as the year begins. We lay the foundations with prayers, fasting, and prophetic directions from God's mouthpieces. Come and ignite your new year in the fires of God's presence with our pastor, Pastor Carthage Benson, and special guest speakers, Minister K.I. and Joshua Moses, on the 20th of April 2024. Venue, Zoological Garden, opposite Area 1 Shopping Complex, Garki, Abuja. Time, 4 p.m. Come and command your day. Remember, God can be trusted.
Please listen to this announcement. Farex Borehole. We are competent. We are committed. We simplify borehole for your borehole survey, for your borehole drilling, or any of your borehole challenges. Call us on 080 3596 5170. 080 3596 5170. You can visit our office at Goshen Plaza, opposite Jabi Motor Park, Abuja.
Through our research and policy memos, we have identified the challenges facing youth civic participation. Now, it's time to equip you with the tools you need to engage with government agencies and elected leaders effectively. Are you tired of feeling sidelined in the governance process? Do you want to make a difference in your community? Don't let your voice go unheard. Tune into Eagles 102.3 FM, Abuja, every Tuesday at 11 a.m. on the Civic Marches and be part of the movement for a more inclusive, accountable, and transparent government. Our mission is clear: to bridge the gap between citizens and government, ensuring that public resources are located to address your priorities. The Civic Marches is sponsored by ProMed Foundation with the support of the Nigerian Youth Futures Fund NYFF.
According to global estimates, millions of young Nigerians are grappling with drug use and its disorders. What are the implications of this on our public health, national security, economy, education, and family? Join Oikeke Igado Kure on robust discussions, sharing facts on drugs. What are the solutions? How do we find help, even for those affected? Every Wednesdays at 4:30 p.m. on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. Together, let's break the circle, kick out drugs, save our youths to save our nation. This is an initiative of the Patriot Media Educational Foundation.
Are you looking for an internet service that will make surfing on the internet an enjoyable one? Do you want a super fast connection to the internet? Look no further, as Eagles Internet Services is here for you, an effective internet service provider with 99% proven reliability for residential and office services. We provide unlimited internet bandwidth services of different bundles tailored to meet your desires and taste. It is reliable, affordable, with a wide coverage. You can locate them at Plot 1719 Cadastral Zone B, Kaura District, or you can call 081-3312-1423 or 090-6576-5969. Eagles Internet Service. Stay connected to everything you love.